The Dodge Daytona and the Plymouth Superbird were built for just one reason: to race and win in NASCAR. But while they both came out of the Chrysler camp and they look a lot alike, the reality is there's a lot of differences between these two cars. I mean, sure, the Dodge is based off the Charger, the Plymouth is based off the Roadrunner, but the subtle differences in the way they did it, oh, there's tons of those. To start with, check out the big rear wings. The Daytona's wing is actually more upright, the base 17 inches long. The Superbird's wing, it's slanted back, and the base 22 inches long. Up front, the Daytona nose cone has a small grille right in the center. The Superbird's nose has no brakes, taking in the air down below. From the side, you can see the Superbird's beak is actually a little longer than the Daytona's. And since the Daytona came first, well, you'd think the differences were the result of learning how to make the Superbird faster. Turns out that wasn't the case. Aerodynamically, the Daytona is slicker. But the Superbird has one thing that the Daytona never got: a Daytona 500 win.
And a little racing royalty, lot 1351. In 1969, Dodge built the Daytona to race on NASCAR's super speedways, and it also raced on short tracks. With this special aerodynamic nose and the big wing with its dual rudders, it was stable at 200 plus miles an hour at Daytona and Talladega, though it looked a little ungainly in Dodge showrooms.
Now, the big difference between a Charger Daytona and a Superbird is production numbers. There are 4 times as many Superbirds as Daytonas. Only 503 of these were made. This is a 440 with the 4-speed transmission, the base engine, but there's plenty here. 375 horsepower, 480 foot-pounds of torque. And this one has all of the correct stuff: the plugged rear window, the aluminum trunk spoiler, the big white bumblebee stripe, and this is the real thing. It's got the correct XX29L VIN reserved specifically for the wing cars and the Charger 500 Aero Coupes.
Now, the airfoil section of the wing was adjustable for angle for downforce, but the real secret of the wing were these end plates. They worked like airplane rudders for stability.
And to support the downforce, there are actually metal structures right here. These are supports that go between the trunk floor and the bottom of the quarter. Otherwise, it could well deform the quarter panel. But that stuff's there, and it's functional. It's more than just for looks.
Now, the rumor was the wing height was determined to be just big enough to be able to get the trunk open. Is that the truth, or did aerodynamicists set the wing height on these cars?
For what it's worth, these cars do have an abbreviated deck lid. The standard Charger trunk lid is quite a bit longer, so a lot of special body panels on these cars. And again, the standard Charger has a tunneled rear window. The 500 and the Daytona have this smooth window. And all of this is absolutely factory correct stuff. And up on the front, the A-pillars on each side of the windshield, those chrome strips going up and down, specific to the Daytona and the Charger 500. So a lot of special tricks to make these things cut through the air with minimal drag.
Those little humps on the fender top, so those are functional. That is so at speed, air trapped in the wheel wells can be extracted there.
Although technically, they told NASCAR it was so the wheels wouldn't rub against the top, because NASCAR had a rule about the aerodynamics. $375,000 for that 1969 Dodge Daytona. All right, you want to compare a Daytona to a Superbird? Well, we can do that right now, because right behind it is a 1970 Plymouth Superbird.
Well, now the Dodge Daytona started in 1969. And Dodge would not allow Plymouth to have a Superbird in '69, so Richard Petty, Plymouth's lead driver, left, and he went to Ford. To get him back, they had to build this, the Roadrunner Superbird. Now, these nose cones are metal. Some states required each car to have a front bumper. So for those states, this little rubber strip was added to the front of the nose cone. You don't want to use this as a bumper, but it met the letter, if not the spirit of the law.
This nose cone is different from the Charger Daytona. However, one item was shared between the two, and that would be these fiberglass headlights, which pop up and down. They're vacuum controlled. This one is also a 444 barrel car. The base engine, plenty there. But this one's a 4-speed manual with a 354 Dana rear axle. It has the same covers for the A-pillars here, the chrome on top, the stainless to help them cut through the air. But one thing that was found on birds and not the Chargers is the vinyl top, because the surgery required to put this flush window in required a lot of hand work. And so Plymouth said, you know what, we're making 4 times as many of these things. We don't have the time or budget to do the body work. We just cover the ugly stuff with vinyl. Thus, that's why the Bird has vinyl, Charger does not.
You see the big Roadrunner on the side of those wing end plates because the Superbird was a submodel of the Roadrunner.
Again, the wing supports inside are present and accounted for.
Yeah, and those big side wings, different angle. Again, Plymouth went with a different concept, and you would have thought over time they would have been improving on the breed over the Daytona, but in fact, this was not as slick going through the air as the Daytona was. The Daytona, if you just looked in pure straight line speed, was faster.
Well, don't tell that to Pete Hamilton, because he won the Daytona 500 and swept Talladega in a Petty Superbird, not a Dodge Daytona.
$250,000 for that 1970 Plymouth Superbird.